I will stand over here then so I don't stand in front of the screen. Hey, welcome guys.
Can you give us a forward back so we know when to sing?
Oh, yep.
Yeah, thanks.
Back.
Perfect, thanks.
Hello, welcome to your receptionist versus your IPS. None of my technology is working today because it hates me, so we will try to do this without a clicker. If you're the smartest person in this room, you're in the wrong room. That's kind of my DerbyCon kind of theme. You should never be the smartest person in the room, and I am not the smartest person in this room. I'm not the smartest person when I'm in the room with my 2-year-old. So that's kind of the way that goes a lot of the time. About me, my name is Gamblin. I'm Network Security Specialist at the Missouri House of Representatives. My contact information is there if you want to get a hold of me. I'm more than accessible. Hit me up on Twitter for probably the fastest response. And because I'm here, that's a picture of me and my son mowing the grass. Kind of take some speaker's liberty there and throw that in. This is where I work. Literally, I work under the statue of Thomas Jefferson. So like if there's ever a mass bombing at the Missouri Capitol, could anybody be like, hey, save the guy under the Thomas Jefferson statue, please. I know him, he's kind of neat. Just help me out a little bit. About my work environment, I am the security team. I work in a highly charged, highly partisan, very difficult work environment. I have 163 CEOs at my company and 163, closer to 200 CEOs support staff. And I've been in a couple of different organizations. And how many of you tell your CEO, oh, sorry, that's in their policy and we can't allow you to get your iPad on the network? I've not talked to somebody who owned that says, oh, yeah, sorry, it's our policy, boss, you can't do that. So we all bend our policies for these people. And we got to understand that. And I know this isn't a conference and people want to hear that, oh, no, we follow our policy perfect. Nobody ever breaks it. So how do we protect our networks today? A lot of times I feel like this guy. I was in Russia in May talking at PH Days, and there's Kaspersky there, and he's doing his thing. He gets up there, and the only takeaway I take away from his presentation is that they process 70,000 new viruses a day. So I'm sitting in the back, I'm listening, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. I do the math. That's one virus every 1.33 seconds. No way in the world we can keep up with that kind of volume on antivirus. Antivirus is just dead. And I know people are like, oh, there's heuristics and there's all that, but AV is dead as we know it today. IPS sucks. I mean, I have an IPS, but nobody can test an IPS effectively. It's like, oh yeah, it works. I Nmap scanned from the outside and it caught it. Okay, so it caught that one thing. So I have the IPS, and then I'm like, let's put in a SIM, because that's neat. So we bought a SIM and we threw it in. So now I got a bunch of logs. Got a bunch of logs I can't do anything with because they're just a bunch of logs. I can see stuff, but it's really not good. Then we come to everybody's favorite thing, patching, right? My users hate me. I'm the guy who makes their Windows machine says, we need to reboot again. Yeah, because those were Windows patches. And now we're rebooting to fix this Java patch. Oh, don't worry, tomorrow we'll get a reboot to fix the Flash thing. So they're all calling down when I talk to the guy who's making my machine reboot, and I have to explain it to them, so they hate me. So, and then we have stuff we can't protect from. Anybody here sell something to stop social engineering? I mean, no. Nobody can stop social engineering. Nobody can sell you a thing to stop social engineering at all. If you could, you'd be a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. I work in a Target. I go to work at a building that's a Target. We have web servers that are targets from everybody. I mean, one day, really conservative groups hate us because we're passing a bill they don't like. Next day, really liberal people hate us because we're passing a bill they don't like. I work in a war zone. Nobody likes us. So hacktivism is something we have to worry about every day. And then we have frustrated employees. Everybody has frustrated employees here. Nobody wants to admit it. Nobody here sells a product that fixes frustrated employees at all.
It's called crap.
And then I sit through this HB Gary talk on advanced persistent threats. I really, really, really want that hour back. Please, somebody.
Every hacker's a baby.
And then new stuff kills us, right? There's something new as a service every day. I think there's a guy in some lab somewhere who just has to make up a new as a service or he doesn't get to go home. He's like, 5 o'clock, ready to go home. He's like, what's your as a service today? He's like, pizza. Okay, go home. Every day there's a new as a service. And then you got cloud storage and social media and PYOD. So I needed to be rescued. I could not handle it anymore. I was hired at Missouri Outdoors in 2005. Worked about 2 or 3 years heads down. Thought I was going to be Mr. Security. Thought I was going to bomb it out of the park, be an analyst, be in the basement doing analyst stuff, and it was going to be awesome and I was going to kill it. And then I realized, man, I can read logs all day and I'm not making a difference because people are going to do stupid stuff. And I got to get out there and talk to people. So I figured out a lot of stuff that doesn't work. Underestimating staff ability. Everybody does this, and I hate it with a passion. And don't say you don't, because if you've been in IT for more than 5 minutes, you have. We come in and we say, man, that lady in HR is so stupid. She could never remember a 15-character password. We'd never do that. Oh, she can pay us on time, you know. She can make sure my insurance gets processed correctly and, you know, and that everything's good, but no, not a 16-character password. We can't do that. She is so dumb. I hate that more than anything. It's it just gets under my skin about how little respect IT people in general, and then IT security people on top of that have for other employees in their company. I was in on the last one, they're like, oh, nobody likes the IT security guy. Well, it's because we're jerks. I mean, literally, we've been trained to be jerks. We're kind of jerky to each other, you know. We're Mr. No. If you're Mr. No in your company and you're an IT guy, you're the security guy, and you say no more than you say yes, you're not doing your job right. I mean, nobody likes to hear it, but we're in the service business. So we break down into 2 categories of people, really. Break down into the bully. Everybody's the bully, right? It's like, no, I'm the king of this, and I'm the network Nazi, and you don't do anything unless I approve it. It's like, okay, that's a little hardcore. Or we run way the other way, and we're the mommy, right? We're like, oh, it's okay, Sally. I'll reset your password one more time, and we'll get this fine. You'll be okay. You're swell. We really need to be Michael Scott. I love The Office more than anything. It's a great show, and he's a really good manager. A lot of the goofball stuff, but he manages his employees to their potential. He always gives them every tool they need to get them where they're at. So that's who I try to be. I try to get to that point. Okay. Off-the-shelf security awareness. Is there anybody here who sells security awareness before? Okay. If you know any of these guys, don't tell them I made fun of them. We were looking at buying Sands, right? And they sent us an info packet on their securing the humans. They said, oh, throw this up in your break room. I'm like, yeah. I was just thinking about that. The guy getting ready to empty our checking account, he's going to go in the break room to grab a Coke and be like, ethics. Good ethics is knowing the difference between right and wrong. Oh, not going to rob your company today. Thanks for the heads up. I'm like, and this is what they want you to do. This is the main part of their, oh, get these words out. Let people know this. I have no idea what this one means. Thank you for your link. And then we probably send this with a link to our intranet site because we love doing that. And then zombies are cool, right? So let's throw up an invasion of the password snatchers on there because I really have no idea what any of this does. Are you the weakest link? What does that mean? I mean, literally, if I put this up in our break room and the accounting person come in and saw this, what would they, maybe, I don't know. This one was just cute. I had a really good video that if you want it, I'll send it to you, but the internet's not working in here. It's the video that they show the Fed employees when they start. It's one of the most ridiculous security awareness videos you see. And only wanting to secure our stuff. I hate this. This is something that everybody does. A lot of companies do. You know, we only care about securing our stuff. You try to get your employees to buy in, like, yeah, Joe, we really got to secure our SQL server. I need you to pick better passwords. Come on, you can do it. You know, because none of this stuff exists, right? This is what our users care about. They care about their Gmail account. They care about their Facebook account. They care about securing stuff that they want and like. So if you act like this stuff exists, then they're automatically going to make your network more secure. It's just a part of the game. You just got to understand that this stuff exists. It's on the internet. Everybody uses it. And the days of being able to say, Facebook doesn't exist on our network are long over. And if you do it, you're just hurting your own network security policy. As a security guy, you should be fighting to allow Facebook and those websites on your network. It makes your users smarter. It allows them to know security and figure out what to do. What does work? Free food. I work in a building that is made up of lawyers and doctors and millionaires and people who don't need $3.50 worth of Papa John's pizza. But if I send out an email and say, hey, I'm giving a lunch and learn on how to secure your Facebook account. Oh yeah, I have free pizza in there. You know, swing by the hearing room at noon. Fill it up every time. People who do not need my $3.50 worth of pizza will come and eat pizza and listen to me babble on for an hour about, you know, click these buttons in Facebook, and then I hit them with some corporate stuff on the top. I'm like, here's how you pick a good password. And you know what? I just helped 50 people secure their Facebook accounts, but I gave them some message that I wanted them to know. I let them know how to make good passwords. That was hard buy-in, because you got to talk to your boss, say, you know, hey, instead of dropping 40 grand on a new IPS, how about you slip me 300 bucks for pizza? It took a while, but got the 300 bucks, buy pizza. People love it. They come, they listen. You know, they give me ideas. They said, hey, let's do one on Pinterest. So I'm not a woman, as hopefully you can tell. So I didn't have a Pinterest account. So I had to set up a Pinterest account, figure out how to secure it, wrote some slides, filled up the hearing room 2 times. Like, had a bunch of people come to listen to how to secure Pinterest. Because there's options on there. You know, do you link it to your Facebook account? But I was able to hit them with some information that most security programs would be like, we're not doing a Pinterest account. What are you talking about? Go back and read some logs. Like, no, Pinterest. Get them to secure their Pinterest account, then everything else becomes secure. Asking these types of questions. These are my 4 magic questions. If you take one thing from here, and we're going pretty fast, we'll be done, so you go to DerbyCon, because that's where I want to go. If you ask these 4 questions to your users, any chance you get, you'll make your network more secure. This top one here will deliver some doozies every time. If you ever asked that question, start with your network administrators. Like, hey, how do you have to work around the network to get your job done? Network administrators will drop you, I mean, if they like you, they'll drop you a list of like 15 things that they have to do their job. And you're like, you know what? I can fix those, because those are really stupid things you're doing. And it's better for me to know that you do those, get the proper controls on them, and do it well, and help you do your job right. And then you take it to your, to your LA, and it's like, you know what? I really don't have access to that printer over there, so I know this lady's login next door to me, and I log in as her, and I print to that printer. I'm like, she has to tell you your password because I didn't give you rights to a printer that you need. Instead of telling me that you need the rights to the printer, you just did this because it was easier, because you thought I was a mean security guy, and you're gonna be like, Jerry, I really want to print to that color printer. Can I print to it? I'm like, no color printer for you. What don't you like about our security program? That one's hard. Nobody ever likes to ask this question because nobody wants to know the answer. We like to be heads down analysts, right? Everybody here has cool jobs, and I talk to them and they're like, hey, what do you do? It's like, I talk to people about securing Facebook. Not really cool. I talked to Gillis, she's like, I break web apps all day in a really cool San Francisco office. I'm pretty awesome. I'm like, yeah, but I have a Pinterest account.
That's yeah. Fucking Pinterest.
You have to ask them this when they're gruntled, but how would you hack our network if you were disgruntled? Man, your users are great hackers. It's like, oh, I have access to the accounting share. I just dump everything out of there. Or did you know that there was I actually had this. Did you know that there was an open jack in the women's bathroom? Network jack? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Why is there a network drop in the women's bathroom? So we went and pulled that out. But I would never have known that. But they told us, so we were able to go do that. What could we do better? Email newsletters. How many here send an email newsletter to their employees? Yep, you got to, right? Throw stuff in there, monthly reminders about security policies. Hit them with updates on what we're doing, because we're getting a younger workforce, and they want to know. Hey, you got a BYOD project? They want to know. You got tablets coming? They want to know. Putting in a new firewall. I put in there, we're putting in a new firewall complex. I had people, like a rep, email me and ask me what kind. It's like, you're a doctor. Why do you want to care what kind of firewall to put in? Oh, I'm just, looking at a new firewall for my practice. I want to know. People love technology. As soon as we stop acting like they don't, the better that you'll be able to bring them into your security program. And then hit them with something that they want to use. Some latest Facebook news. Everybody on Twitter is always talking about, hey, look at this hack, this Zappos hack. I got so much play out of the Zappos account because somebody dropped that. I just went and searched for people I know who worked for us email account and said, hey, your Zappo account was hacked. Oh, thank you, Mr. Nice Security Guy, for looking out for me on the internet. Now, they're my ally because I helped them out, because I'm actively looking to support my users on the outside of the corporation. Funny comics, we all have them. And we all love them. Personal lunch and learns. Picking good passwords. We have done a terrible job in the password field. I talk to people all the time. Like, oh, what's your password policy? Oh, 8 characters. Change them every 60 days. What SANS tells us is good password security policy or whatever. We're like, oh, really? We're doing 16 characters every 6 months. Our users love it. It took us an hour to get the point across that 3 dictionary words with some spaces in the middle was 1,000 times more secure than a dictionary word that we taught them how to lead up. No, it can be your dog's name. Just change that E to a 3. Hackers will never figure that out. Oh wait, they're using crackers now, so they don't care. So we get to the 16-character password, and it's great. Our users love it. We have less people call our help desk because they can remember a little phrase super quick than before, when it was, you got to be 8 characters, have an uppercase, and it's just way easier. Introduction to 2-factor authentication. We're going to roll out 2-factor authentication for our internal network at some point. We haven't yet, but to get the ball rolling, we did a lunch and learn on how to set up your Gmail account on 2-factor authentication, how to set up your Facebook account on 2-factor authentication. Didn't take long. Our users love it because now they're secure, right? Nobody's going to hack their Gmail accounts. And guess who that helps? Because somebody's Gmail accounts get hacked at work, it's personal, but who do they call anyway? Me. They're like, Jerry, somebody from Russia emptied my Gmail account. Can you help me? Now that I have my 2-factor authentication, nobody from Russia can empty their Gmail account. So it helps me help them help me. You guys aren't asking enough questions. Are you tired? Or you want to go to...
Quick question. Do you find that you actually get any positive response from employees from the mailing list, the newsletter?
They like it. I mean, we don't have metrics, and that's the thing. You talk to guys like, oh, what's your metrics on your security awareness program? I don't know. What's my metrics on having a firewall?
Yeah.
You really, it's hard to say, but I mean, they like it. I get questions out of it, so it's really, really good.
All right.
So when you moved to the 16-character password, did you relax complexity then?
No, it's still the same complexity, uppercase, special character, but you teach them that a space is a special character, and that I love Fridays is probably 16 characters.
Or type of sentence?
Yeah, or type of sentence or whatever.
Capital into the punctuation, hey, what do you know?
Yeah, and then you're there. You're easily there, and they love it. It's easier for them to remember, and nobody is, talked to a bunch of people, and I thought somebody would come and say, no, those password sites. Most people are like, yeah, that's right. 16 characters, you're good to go. So it's a great password policy. It just takes a lot of buy-in. I really had to hit on that. I had to start in the IT shop and say, hey, we're going to go to 16 character password just for a thing. Let me show you. Took them to a whiteboard, drew it up. Oh, wow, that is super simple. There's no need to have 8 character passwords anymore. Double them up. So we were good to go there. And then we got IT buy-in. The rest was pretty easy. Contests and giveaways. I work in a small company, but you can buy cheap USB drives for $2 a piece, gigabit, whatever, CWG on closeout. I throw Microsoft Security Essentials on there, a copy of PSI. I hand them out like they're candy. My users take them home. They install Security PSI on their home machine. Magically, all their software gets updated. And then, where do those home machines connect to? My network. Either by VPN or by OWA or by any other thing. So for $1 or $2, I've now made everybody's machine that connects to my network a little more safe. And then they love me because I give them free software to keep their stuff up to date. So if you don't have a program to give away those, great. We work in a very, very public building, and we have a computer lock policy. It's not what I want. It's 15 minutes. But that's all I can do. I have to fight battles just like anybody else. 15 minutes is where we're at. I like it to be shorter, but it's not. So I walk around and somebody's computer's blocked. I put a candy bar on it. That way they know, you're giving people free food. People will do almost anything for free food. So you throw it on there, people remember to lock their passwords. Quizzes and puzzles, crossword puzzles. People love it, give away prizes. File cracking contest. This one was great. Got a Word document, put in there how to come down to my office and had a little phrase in there, how to come down and get the $25 gift certificate to a local pizza place. Password protected it, put it on the intranet, and said, first person to tell me the password to this wins the thing. I had everybody trying to guess it, So I told them some simple hints, like it was a common word, it's somewhere around here, It was Jefferson City, the name of our town. People are sitting there banging away at it, getting them to think like hackers. Nobody in the building will use Jefferson City as a password ever again, because when I said, hey, the password Jefferson City, like, oh, that's a really stupid password, or capital. You get them to think like a hacker. It's all about buy-in. Your people are smart, and they really, really want to help you secure your network.
So you give people to lock their PCs candy bars. So what's the flip side?
I don't have a stick. I literally do not have a stick. I'm not going to be able to go up to an elected representative and say, you didn't like the PC. We're going to HR. You're getting written up. So I just have to be nice.
I was just curious if you have a conversation or
I tell them, I remind them, but there's no, I come from an area where we don't have sticks. I'm in like one of those households that have a no spanking rule, like timeout's all you do. Like, yeah, sorry, you're going to have to send timeout again. Oh, okay. Yeah, timeout just doesn't work. I don't have much of a stick besides just trying to be nice to them and explain why they need to. You're like, hey, 1,500 people walk by your door every day. You need to lock your machine when you get up to go to the bathroom or do a hearing meeting because it takes 15 minutes for it to do it. Showing them that Windows L locks a machine gets them to do it because they're like, no, I have to do Control-Alt-Delete and then Enter. No, just Windows L when you get up. Oh, that's super easy. People want to know and they want to be secure. We as security people just do not take the time because we're too busy or because looking through some IIS logs is way more important than talking to our users about security. It really needs to change. We can make our networks way more secure if we spend more time talking to our users than we do talking to, Twitter.
Yeah, we have little business cards that say something like that, the Windows L, and we just stick it in the keyboard.
Yeah.
Lock their computer for them, say, hey, you forgot to lock your keyboard, it's very important for safety. Real easy, and huge giant letters in the picture with the Windows L.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Super easy.
I think we all have the same problems there.
Yeah. Does anybody have, what works in your guys' environment? That's what I want to know. I came here to pick up ideas because you know, we've moved up. Does anybody do anything cool for their security awareness program?
We do little, not posters, but little, like postcards.
Yeah.
So if we walk by and it's locked, we'll give them like a little green one that has some little saying, you know, you did a great thing or whatever, but if they left it unlocked, it's red. And it says just a reminder, so they either get like a red or green kind of thing.
That's awesome.
But I think candy would work better.
Probably.
Candy does work. I mean, people like it, you know. Who wouldn't like coming back to their office and having a candy bar sitting on their keyboard? Like, oh, who put a candy bar on my keyboard again? I hate those IT guys. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I got companies fishing employees.
And that's a good thing too. You have to do that, right? Because what does it do? What does phishing employees teach them? It teaches them to be suspicious, right? And you have to follow on to that because we do a terrible job. I bet you there's 100 companies that hire your company and say, fish our employees, and they get their little drafts and they're like, crap, 12% of our users click on phishing links. What are we gonna do? And then they worry about it for a month, and then it's Christmas time, and they're like, oh, here's where we're donating money for Christmas, guys. Can you click on this link and donate? We don't do a good job of following through. We're very up and down. You know, we're like, we stopped telling people not to click on links because you have to click on links to be on the internet. I mean, I like Boris, but his "don't click" crap saying just isn't enforceable.
They don't listen.
And we don't help them listen. If you couldn't click links, what would the internet be? Who here has clicked the link not knowing exactly where it goes before? Oh, yeah. You're on Twitter and you're like, hey, read this story. Yeah, okay, click the bit.ly link. I have no idea where it goes. Please don't infect my machine. Good, it went to the New York Times. The internet is set up that way. We have to click links. There's no way to test it. So, a 3-year-old, if you tell your 3-year-old not to do something that you know he can't do, you're just setting him up for failure, and it never works. It makes you mad, you see your 3-year-old up, he's mad, and he's getting a big fight. I try not to set my users up for failure. It's the worst thing you can do ever. Anybody else? All right, we'll be able to get a DerbyCon. The video was really cool. I'm sorry the internet didn't work in here. There's my contact information again. I have some business cards too. I love to talk about security awareness. It's truly my passion. I love technology. I love being a heads down guy. I love going in new firewalls and IPSs and playing with the SIM. But I just come to the realization one day that all the SIMs and all the firewalls and all the patching will never truly secure your network as long as there are people sitting behind the keyboard who have to do their job. Nobody comes to your network and says, man, I really want to mess this up and I want to hack the crap out of it. They come in just like everybody else saying, I really want to do my job. And if the security guy has a network lockdown wrong or not configured properly, and I have to do my job, and I think the security guy's a jerk, I'm not going to ask him. I'm going to figure out a way to do it myself. We have to be better at being people, persons, peoples, I don't know. But thank you guys very, very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.